A 135-pound rock climber can outgrip a 220-pound powerlifter, and it has nothing to do with wrist size. It comes down to one overlooked muscle that almost every forearm program on the internet completely ignores. Let's dive in. Let's start with a hard truth. The actual wrist joint, those bones sitting right where you wear your watch, cannot grow after puberty. There's no muscle there to develop. It's bone and tendon. So if you've been trying to make the joint itself bigger, stop. You're wasting your time. But here is where it gets interesting. The forearm muscles sitting directly above your wrist respond incredibly well to the right training. And when those muscles grow, they create a visual effect that makes your entire lower arm look dramatically thicker and stronger. Now the exercise I want to focus on today targets the pronator teres. Most people have never heard of it. Almost nobody trains it directly. But every person you've ever seen with genuinely impressive forearms has this muscle developed. It sits on the inner part of your forearm, right below your elbow, in that thick section between your elbow crease and the midpoint of your forearm. Its job is to rotate your forearm, turning your palm from facing upward down toward the floor, like you're turning a doorknob. That motion is called pronation. Research published in the International Journal of Sports Physical Therapy found that pronation exercises drive the pronator teres to around 73% of its maximum activation. That's a serious training stimulus from a movement most gym goers completely ignore. Arm wrestling legend Devin Larratt has called this muscle your best weapon for good reason. In competitive arm wrestling, the athlete who controls pronation controls the match. But even if you never set foot near an arm wrestling table, this muscle matters to you because of what it does visually. When your pronator teres develops, it adds width and fullness to your upper forearm. That creates a natural taper that makes the wrist look more defined and powerful by contrast. It's not about hiding a narrow wrist. It's about building the right proportion around it. Here's exactly how to train it. Grab a single light dumbbell, somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds to start. Sit down on a bench and rest your forearm flat along your thigh with your wrist hanging just past your knee so it has full freedom to move. Hold the dumbbell with your palm facing upward toward the ceiling. Keep your wrist neutral, not bent up or down, just straight. Now slowly rotate your entire forearm inward, turning your palm from facing the ceiling all the way down until it faces the floor. Go as far as you can. You should feel the inside of your forearm firing intensely right below the elbow. That's the pronator teres doing exactly what it's built for. Hold that bottom position for a full second, then rotate back with control. Don't let gravity do the work on the return. Both directions matter. Perform 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps per arm. Rest 60 seconds between sets. This muscle is built for endurance and repeated contractions, not heavy grinding loads. If you can't complete 15 clean reps, the weight is too heavy. Drop it down. Light and controlled beats heavy and sloppy every single time with this movement. Now here's the key to long-term progress. Forearm muscles recover significantly faster than larger muscle groups. Devin Larratt trains his forearms every single day, sometimes twice a day, because the recovery window is short. For most people starting out, 2 to 3 sessions per week will produce excellent results. As your conditioning improves, you can push that to 4 or 5 days weekly. Just avoid doing heavy forearm work immediately before exercises that demand serious grip like deadlifts or pull-ups. The progression structure matters too. During your first 2 weeks, focus entirely on learning the movement pattern. Use the lightest weight possible and concentrate on actually feeling the target muscle contract. Weeks 3 and 4, start adding small increments, maybe just 2 to 5 pounds, while continuing to prioritize that mind-muscle connection. From weeks 5 through 8, Keep adding weight gradually, but only when your technique stays perfect. If form breaks down at all, stay at your current weight until you own it. By week 9 and beyond, visible changes in forearm development should be appearing, and your grip strength will feel noticeably different in daily life and in the gym. One critical mistake to avoid: do not push every set to failure. Train at around a 7 or 8 out of 10 effort level. This approach lets you train consistently and frequently without burning out the tissue. Destroying your forearms in one brutal session and then waiting 3 days to recover defeats the entire purpose. Consistency and frequency over intensity is how this muscle grows. Skinny wrists do not have to define how your arms look. The right exercise, trained the right way, consistently over time, changes the entire picture. Start today. Your grip will thank you.